Howdy, y'all. Killface of Baylor here. I'm injured still, and my southern accent's a bit more stable than the one I normally use while I'm injured here. So I'm just going to run a video like this. My apologies to those of you that don't know what to do with this situation. We just had a reset, so I'm looking through the luxury shop. This is a meh sort of pendant, right? The big thing is it doesn't give me any energy regeneration, which is maybe the most important feature of these kind of things. So this is actually a 25 damage ring, and it does give some health and energy regen, which is nice, but it's pretty expensive for what you get. This one's okay, honestly, but really it's not great. The 300 focus boost is nice, but as you can see in my video about the effects of ability versus direct damage, this is not the greatest of boosts. So the gear that came up here just ain't that good. It's possible somebody was camping and got it all before me, but probably it just ain't all that good. And just so you know where I am, I'm here, right? And that little shop behind me, it resets with every reset of the server, so that can be a good thing to camp when you see the message that there's going to be a reset. If you have access to the shop, which requires level 90, you can sit there. I'm going to not turn in those caches. Although, well, let's turn in one. Here you go. So this is down in the same area. You can pick up them chests that are laying around in the sewers. And here's what you get. You get 1,000 XP, you get a smuggler's tonic, and you can do that over and over and over again, right? And it'll keep giving you 1,000 XP. So that's kind of cool. But we're going to look at some things you can do after a reset that not everybody does. Well, one of the things, and this is an easy one, and I'm risking some of the things that I'd rather be doing, but we're going to go ahead and look at it anyway, is we can go to some of the lower level bosses that aren't going to be immediately jumped on and camped, because all the high level players are actually going to be out there doing their Gelbrons and their Hrungs and all that, right? But here we go. We've actually got a gem tooth. It's a little bit easier to do than the normal opponent, and you'll notice I'm level 155, and still I should have very little trouble taking out something like this. So what I'm going to want to do here, cast a 1. Hey, not cool. So I moved to cancel that cast because I didn't have all my skill points equipped. Now we're going to do this and this and this and that and etc. Right? You don't want to throw a riposte right away because they're normally throwing their skills early on, and maybe I threw it just a little early anyway. And you'll notice I kind of preemptively do the hot swap on the rogue because I'm not always doing skills. So I got a 300 gold. So I got the ruby boar tusk, which I think is going to be between 400 and 700 gold. I don't have that one memorized. The jet is 100 gold, and the peridot, and that is the right word, peridot, is the 300 gold greenstone there. But we'll take a look at what them is worth here in a minute, right? So that kill was at least worth close to 1,000 gold, because it also is normally going to drop gold for me, although I don't think it did this time. Yeah, sometimes it'll drop gold for you, sometimes it'll just drop stones. But that's kind of cool. And it won't always be that particular one. We got kind of lucky that time, but you can just check them lower level bosses and see about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to some places where we know there's a good chance to get some unusual spawns. And one of them places over in the other world, out here in Agrigoth's cave, right? People are going to go to Aggie, so that's the thing you got to watch out for. But over here in Agrigoth's cave, you've got the ability, almost everything that wears a black cloak in that cave can turn into a rare mob under the right circumstances, and they've all been reset, as if somebody ran through and just killed the whole lot of them, right? When a reset happens, the server just kind of basically everything dies and respawns, so you have a chance at just about whatever you want. The X you see on my screen there, those are bosses that I can get that are probably the lower level Fairyland bosses, and that's kind of cool. The Fairyland things are nice. They give a bit of gold, and you're likely to get some skills or some skill rings or something that can be kind of useful. Alright, so This whole guide is kind of a what you do if you're not in that top clan doing them top bosses, getting your sweet DKP, or if like me you just really aren't a huge fan of things like sweet DKP. So those black cloaks that I'm passing there, they're actually for a quest. That's kind of newish, and they won't respawn the way that the others will. Looks like somebody's been through here. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I'm just taking an unusual route. So I should have gone around the other side so I could see if the Lava Lord was up. I can't solo the Lava Lord, but even the 4-star variation has the possibility to drop them lion, whatever they are, crests. And we actually have Ignis, which is the strongest variation of the Lava Lord and has the most drops, but he'd eat me for breakfast, and since I don't feel like getting roasted no more than I have to right now, we're just gonna pass him right on by. Alright, so we're gonna take a look about kind of the first couple of black cloaks that you see once you're into the main part of the Aggregoth Cave. That's where you're mostly going to see it. So this guy right here is often a 2-star firebrand, and when that happens, you want to, like that. See the firebrand there? I'm going to die. We're going to go ahead and cycle. We want to cycle back here first. So we want to do this, and then we want to, and I'm probably going to die again, and that's okay. We want to, yep, I'm going to die again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run over here where I'm not going to get caught by as many different things. We're going to die again. We're going to let everything run back to where it goes, because this is a hard spot. Now I've got to wait for 8 seconds because you got a 30-second timer, or maybe only a 20-second timer. I don't know. You got an idle timer where if you've used a resurrection idol, you can't use the next one for a little while. And the idea here is to get attacked by the firebrand, but not by the other stuff. And that can be a little hard to do. You'll notice my hot swap messed up there, and that's kind of a bummer. But, you know, we'll live. And I can beat this guy with him being a 140, me being a 155, even though I'm standing on the lava, right? Oh, now that, that dragon, he's pretty mean. I don't like him. And he's going to hurt me. Oh, and my auto attack's off because I've been playing mage. That's no good. Don't be having the auto attack off. That's no good at all. Alright, so the Flaming Brand is a pretty low level variation on this. Never mind, the X's were not the quest bosses that I thought they were. Turns out these X's are in fact a completely different quest. So we're going to see if we can get the Fairyland quest picked up about now. We've done the test of Regulus. Here we go. So, it's the Sunflower Fairy. Okay, never mind about all that. Sunflower Fairy, I do have her quest, but a lot of the bosses are going to be up, and I'm not going to have the quest for them. So first of all, we're going to examine pretty closely what bosses there are. Now, the one exception is that legacy bosses, right? They don't. I'll show you that offhand I got, by the way, when I killed that the firebrand. And I went out specifically for that guy because he's very often up after the resets. As a matter of fact, I don't remember the last reset where I wasn't able to get him. Now that I'm putting the video out, that may not be true. But you see that? That is a level 40 offhand, and there can be some pretty good ones that drop. That's a decent one. They go all the way up to the point where they're doing, I think, 300 heat damage, but that's incredibly unlikely, and if you do get one, you're going to want to sell it to collectors for gazillions of gold. Something that it really shouldn't be worth, but it is, because exclusivity and all that. I know you don't normally hear Southerners using words like exclusivity, but yep, I'm still me. Even when I'm Southern, I am from Tennessee, but I can say words like soliloquy and exclusivity and flossinacinohilipilification. Yes, that's a real word. So, yeah. There's this natural stigma that goes with this accent that automatically says I'm quite a bit stupider than when I use the other accent that I'm normally using, which automatically tells people I'm a little bit smarter. So yeah, that's kind of how that works. But I can pretty easily rest in this accent because I've lived in the area for quite some time, and yeah, it's just part of living around here. It's still not quite the way that I'd normally speak. As a matter of fact, I had somebody tell me that you ain't from around here, are you? But I really am. So yeah, I can at least run it for a little while, although I think you can hear it kind of affecting my voice now. So sorry about that. Anyway, the bosses do pop up a good bit after the resets. You'll see here that the Swamp Lord is up in a variation. Oh, I can kill the Swamp Caller, I think. Yeah, let's kill a Swamp Caller. Alright, here we go. We're going to kill us a Swamp Caller. Here's how we're going to do that. We're going to go... First, we're going to do our buffs, right? Here we go. Alright. Now that that's done, we're going to cast like that. And we can't do the hot swap glitch like Furion was talking about because... Or the Shadow Strike glitch to cut out the animation time, because if we were to do that, well, we would have the downside of not being able to hot swap, and our skill points are set up so as we need to hot swap. So we're going to have to use some restos, making this kind of a waste of a boss, but at least you'll get to see the fight. I'm used to doing this on my mage, I must suppose, because normally I expect this to be a pretty easy fight, and it's just not as easy. So he just autoed. I'm going to do it here, right, during his auto animation, so that I have a higher chance of getting 3 hits out of riposte rather than 2. We're going to go ahead and do that, although as you can see that's a bit late and maybe not quite in the right timing. We're going to, we want to go ahead and Shadow Strike. Okay, we're going to heal that right back up. As soon as we can get this to land, that'd be cool. Alright, cool, we got it. Now we're going to Shadow Strike, and then we're going to look for that automation. There we go. And we want to hit just kind of the beginning of it. Nice, we beat him. We beat him. And that Frost Orb, depending on what it sells for, could refund me for my different platinum items that I used. But I think overall I'm not going to sell it. I'm just going to give it away, and then I just lost the money outside of what I got from that 104 gold. Anyway, here's another one of them... let's see. Here's another one of them places where you can often find a firebrand. Right, so we're going to go here, and we're going to go down to that pirate island that was in my last gold making video. One of the things that I did was I farmed that pirate island. Well, if you do it after a reset, the chances that you're going to end up with a firebrand on that island, they're significantly higher. Now there's also, I believe, a firebrand or a skewer point, I don't remember which. They're kind of the same thing. Skewers do magic damage and they look like a giant fork sort of deal. And the firebrands, they drop the torch that you saw before. So he's gonna be, yep, there he is. See him? Alright, same thing. They're going to be 2 stars. They're going to be kind of strong, but not terribly strong. And it's going to depend a bit on their level, because they are going to be the, they're going to be a similar level to what their normal mob would be. Alright, so here's how we're going to do this. I can actually hit him at range, which is cool, and then he's going to die. And when he dies, I get a glowing brand, which is actually just a 5 damage, kind of a piece of junk. We're going to take a look at them bears that I was talking about in the last video. All right, let's take a look at that that brand that we just got. It's a piece of junk, 5 damage, but this one's 55, does level 40 requirement, but hey, for a free weapon, it's pretty good. All right. Now, I'd be tempted to sell this to my alt that I've been leveling here to speed up the process. And normally, if I were doing them in the normal fashion, I'd do something like that, just hand it over. even rather than selling it. But I can't do that because really it'd turn out to be boosting my character a bit, and I don't want to be doing things that people can't then just duplicate on their own. Let's go like that, and then once we got all them attacking me, we'll do that one. And it's not dependent on my weapons, so I can be on my bird and do that. But that's what you want to look for, right? And then all you want to do is make sure that you're in a pattern that makes sense, that you can just ride straight through. And it's been a little while since I did the pattern, but I still have done it often enough that I think I'll be able to do it without a problem. And you'll notice what I'm looking for is them Y-shaped things rather than just the single offshoots. All right, now, see, and here we just have the same thing as before. I'm really hoping to find one of these bosses up since we just had a reset. Now, you'll see, this is what I was talking about with farming with the rogue, right, is that I can just sit here on my mount, do one of these, and all them things is going to die. Y'all's going to die, y'all. It was beautiful, beautiful thing. All right, so we're going to head on out, and I'm just going to do the whole run, because this is what I do after a reset, right? I can also go into Shalmont and do some of them defector bosses. All them's been reset, so the chances that there's one I need is pretty high, right? So we want to go in here, and I'll show you where this is on the map, because this is a little bit of a tricky one. Not quite as obvious. Basically, it's the center room, right? So we can go here. It's going to have absolute garbage as the last ones did, but we're going to show you where we are on the map. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to be okay with the fact that we had absolute garbage. Now, that's a damage over time skill, so we're going to have to just kind of let that go. We're going to do this. They're all going to die. Y'all's going to die, y'all. And you'll notice the riposte symbol goes away pretty quickly. It's got a 6-second duration. The average mob, I believe, has an attack speed of 3k, meaning you can hit them twice. But if you can hit them just right, sometimes you can hit 3. So it may be that it's 2500 or something. But basically, if you can hit them at the end of their auto the first time and the beginning of their auto the third time and one in the middle, a lot of times you can get 3. Now, if you're surrounded by a daggum crowd of them, unless you're really good, you're just going to want to kind of let it go. Just make sure you're not letting it go in a time when they're all throwing skills at you, because that's no good. That's no good at all. And we can just fly around on this ranged bird, right, and just shoot all them things, right, and then we just make them die like that. And basically the idea is I'm counterattacking them in a sort of way that they can't defend, and they're getting destroyed. Alright, now we got one more of these dumb things to do. This is a pain in the butt if you don't have a mount, so I'm sorry to those of you who don't have one. But this is an easy thing to farm, even if you're a level 70 or a level 80. Now, if you're asking me how do I make good gold as a level 30, the best answer I can give you is you buy platinum, or if, like most people, you're not a platinum buyer, then you're just going to want to level up. And either way, you're just going to want to level up following them quests, because while plat buying does help you, really a lot of the content isn't for this type of this portion of the game, and you're not going to have nearly as easy a time finding people that are supporting you at this kind of a level. And here we are, done the whole daggum thing, and not a single decent opponent the whole time. But I'll clear it out for the next guy, so maybe somebody will get one of them 5 stars. Alright, so we're going to do that, and they're all just, yep, there we go. It's a beautiful thing. Alright, now we got some other things we can check. Here's a weird one, right? There's a mini boss that spawns now. He's kind of new, over by the tower, or what used to be the tower, what's now, or not the tower, what used to be the Blackstone Fortress, was now the entrance to the Corrupted Gardens, about right there where the Invoker is, or roughly right somewhere in here. there was a guy who drops a rare sword, but he is probably on a similar spawn setup to the oh, now here's the chain prince. He'd eat my lunch, so I'm not gonna kill him, but there's something else you could be killing. Okay, ice shock doesn't really bother me. The thing that's gonna bother me is if they start throwing some version of hobble or whatever that bolus, something like that. These 4 stars are kind of overpowered, so do be aware of that. Now, we're gonna take ourselves into Shalmont, see if anybody's been around here. There's a good chance somebody has, right? But I'm just showing you some of the things you can check on if you're kind of new or kind of low level, starting a new server, something like that, and you're just not at the point where you can boss with the big boys. Alright, so this is where that boss would have spawned. He didn't spawn, so... Oh, and as a rogue, I can do that same thing I was talking about before. I get them all attacking me, then I do this, and they all just die. And there's a possibility I find something useful, and a possibility I find absolute garbage, like I did now. Right, but it didn't really take extra time from me, and I can do this. There we go. And that's 50 gold. That's kind of nice, I suppose. But we're going to hit that guy. And then we're going to look down here. And I don't think Shadow Strike's going to let me take this route, although it used to. What the? Okay, I have no idea what to expect from that. Yeah, it's not going to let me reach the target. That's how they fixed the glitch that used to happen, where you'd get glitched on top of random crap. Is that it checks now if it thinks you can make the jump, and if it doesn't think you can make the jump, if it thinks it's going to put you out of bounds, it'll tell you, I'm sorry, you can't reach that, because nowadays you've lost half your skill. See, now here's another one of them firebrands. Boom. And this is a great time to be searching for firebrands. Now, you're not going to make a ton of money that way. Ooh, and these are wonderful, right? Phantom blades, they're just great. This is going to be a similar thing, but I'm going to get a sword-looking thing that does, that's a 5 damage version. I don't have any idea why this character right here wasn't doing exactly what I was talking about. Alright, tower shield. I don't know, buddy. You really should be looking for these firebrands and some of the defectors and all that. I get these when I pass them just because it lets me do more bounties through the day, and you can do an extra 4 bounties if you have enough of them tokens. Right, so it's always nice. It takes 9 hunters I don't remember what they're called. Whatever comes out of that hunter's remains case, you can get a bunch of them at a time or one at a time. It's kind of random. But once you've opened it, here, we'll check this area too. Once you've opened it, you can get a few of them, and then once you get a few of them, you can go ahead and turn them in for them bounty pledges. Now there's a guy that spawns there and a guy that spawns there. So somebody's been through here already checking Stonevale, which means they've checked this one too. But what on earth? Why is it having me use laystone fragments? I mean, sure, but good grief. Good grief. Why in the world? Alright, so what that message is telling me right here is that I'm overburdened, right? That I have 3 extra items. And I don't really get that, but okay. Apparently I need more items. So whoever this person is, they didn't think to clear the way for the next person, so I'm going to do it anyway. I don't get anything real good out of that, but, you know, I can get something sort of useful. So, and this lady, if you feel like helping noobs, you can just kill this lady periodically, and then the noobs will need her drops, and you can just give them away. Oh, come on. Die, lady. Die. And this is why right here, because she's overpowered like a son of a gun. I mean, it's a pain. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do a nice little shadow strike there. Okay, and she dies, and that's good. I didn't want to have to go using weapons and whatnot. I got a bunch of these basically completely useless laystone fragments. What I'd normally do is just go sell stuff when I become overburdened, or put it in my bank, or buy more backpack expansions, or all kinds of stuff. You can always free travel to the castle where your bank is. And I think I do have the quest for that guy, so he should be down. If he's up and I don't have the quest, well, that's my loss and I'm an idiot. Alright, so there's not going to be any bosses out in this clearing, probably because somebody already came through here. Once you've found that somebody's come through one area, good chance they know what they're doing and they came through the whole area. So, yeah, we're not going to do that. And here's another spot we can check. Oh, now I've run out of laystone fragments. Oh, this is why, because I have all these weapons that I don't even need. That's awesome. Really? This entire time I've been using my fishing gear? Alright, y'all can laugh at me now. This was a what on earth? No wonder it's taking me so long to kill stuff. Alright, we're gonna call this video. And I hope y'all enjoyed this. If so, go ahead and like it and pass it along. If not, I mean, you're free to let me know in the comments or whatever. Don't forget to subscribe for more Celtic Heroes content and more of me making a fool of myself. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Have a nice day. Alright. Goodbye now, y'all.